Yes, we're back. Welcome, 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 everybody. How is everybody doing? Did everybody have a good lunch? I hope you guys are ready. I see everybody sitting already, like, okay, let's have this, let's start this. Well, we're gonna sound it off today. We have two very special guests. We already have them in the panel this morning, but I think a lot of you don't know who they actually are. Nicki and James will be representing Bitcoin Berlin in Suriname. Mag ik een warm applausje? Can I have an applause for Nicki and James?
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Gabriel, for the kind introduction. For anyone who's not sure, this is not Berlin, Germany. This is Berlin in El Salvador.
Yes.
Okay, so welcome to Welcome to Suriname Decentralized, for the first country in the world that will take Bitcoin to a new level with a Bitcoin standard.
I'm Nicki, and this is James, and we're excited to share first-hand experience on the success of Bitcoin Berlin.
Today, we'll take you on an adventure of what we learned being part of creating a Bitcoin-based circular economy in El Salvador. By the end of this talk, you'll be able to understand how this model could reshape economies worldwide.
We've documented all of this in a white paper, which we will share at the end of our presentation, so you'll be able to download the link.
All right.
Okay. Who are Nicki and James? Okay, and why should you listen to these two Bitcoin psychopaths?
We've been living in El Salvador for over 2.5 years, immersing ourselves in the local culture and economy with Bitcoin adoption.
We've hosted over 100 live weekly shows sharing our experience and answering your questions on the first-hand experience of Bitcoin adoption in El Salvador.
We also put out a weekly newsletter that talks about 3 interesting news events each week about Bitcoin, and also we curate one of the best, I'm not sure why the screen's gone black, we curate the best meetup calendar in El Salvador.
Our goal is to bridge the gap between theory and practice, offering you insights from the front lines of Bitcoin Berlin. For the past year, we have been living in Berlin, El Salvador, largely living on a Bitcoin standard, demonstrating the real-world viability of Bitcoin-based economy. We've played a huge key role in establishing the Bitcoin Community Center, a hub for education, innovation in the local ecosystem.
Okay. Thank you. Thought something was wrong. Our efforts have contributed to onboarding over 130 businesses that now accept Bitcoin, which has created a diverse network of contributing merchants. As a result, Berlin has actually emerged as the largest circular economy in El Salvador, showcasing the potential for widespread adoption.
What makes this even more exciting? It's on a volcano.
Powered by geothermal energy
that mines Bitcoin. So, is local Bitcoin adoption important to you?
Using Bitcoin as a digital cash serves both as an effective education tool and also an efficient means of distribution.
Have you considered starting your own circular economy?
If we want Bitcoin to be the currency of the future, we need to use it like the currency of the future today.
Are you ready to be the catalyst for change in your community?
Relying solely on systems that are regulated by the government is going to put Bitcoin in the wrong hands. We need to make sure we start using Bitcoin privately so we can keep it decentralized.
While hyper-Bitcoinization is the ultimate end goal, the journey begins with immediate action. We need to embrace the mindset of just do it! If we don't take the initiative to build the Bitcoin Citadel network, then who will?
The path to education starts with you. educate yourself, educate your friends and family, and then go and educate the businesses with your knowledge, and spend a little bit of sats with all of them so they can learn. While we build the network, the fiat system is actively working to maintain its dominance over the current regulatory capture of Bitcoin.
Remember, this journey is a grassroots movement. As we learn and share with more people, the ripple effect will lead to broader adoption with businesses and even countries.
The goal is to create vibrant liquidity pools of currency, people, skills, resources. This will give people the space to be able to trade peer-to-peer, value for value, using Bitcoin as digital cash.
Introducing the white paper. We're excited to share the observations and insights from Bitcoin Berlin's success story. Our goal is to equip you with the practical knowledge and experience that you can apply to build and expand the Bitcoin Citadel network in your own community.
In the Bitcoin white paper, we're going to deliver crucial elements that will help you to build your own thriving Bitcoin circular economy. This will include things like selecting the right location, assembling an effective team, embracing the hero's journey, developing impactful branding and marketing to get your message to the world, and navigating finance and management challenges. Above all, we'll emphasize the most crucial ingredient, taking action.
Remember, the journey to the Bitcoin-powered future begins with you.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, just do it!
Location, location, location. Let's share the story that illustrates its importance.
My first Bitcoin employs Salvadorans to teach Bitcoin around El Salvador. Inadvertently, this helps to identify passionate individuals who embrace the Bitcoin philosophy.
When Evelyn and Gerardo were teaching in Berlin, they recognized the town's potential. They took the initiative, onboarding local businesses, laying the groundwork for a circular economy.
10 weeks later, at the graduation, the guest validators, which are people like us, went to see the proof of work that had been done in this town. They had onboarded 20 businesses, and we saw the beginning of a budding circular economy.
So what makes Berlin the ideal location? Let's break it down.
The population size of Berlin is around 15,000 people and more in the surrounding areas. It's not too small to lack diversity, but it's not so large that the network becomes too dispersed.
The physical layout. The town is easily walkable, complemented with a local moto taxi network. If building in a larger city, consider building in a walkable distance first.
The business ecosystem. Small and medium-sized businesses are the heart of a healthy economy. Family-operated and small-staff businesses make decision-making much more accessible and easier. Notably, there's also a refreshing absence of national and international big brand stores.
Climate and cost of living. At 1,000 meters elevation, Berlin was a relief from that coastal heat. This, coupled with more affordable living, made it more attractive for both residents and businesses.
The community dynamics. Berlin's size fosters an environment where building strong, meaningful relationships and connections is natural and achievable.
Assembling the right team, a blend of skills and passion.
Let's dive into another pivotal moment in the journey. During their time in Berlin, Evelyn and Gerardo connected with locals that were passionate about their town, and they were eager for growth and opportunities.
The graduation caught the event of foreigners who resonated with their vision. Salva, inspired by what he saw, actually made the commitment to move to Berlin on the day of graduation. This was just the beginning.
So what elements will actually contribute to you building the right team?
The group discovered an effective team requires a mix of skills and backgrounds, a blend of locals and foreigners with Bitcoin experience. This combination brings both global perspective and local insights. Passionate, committed locals who believe in a brighter future. They're dedicated to their community drive sustainable change. Bilingual individuals with strong communication skills, essential for bridging language gaps and fostering inclusivity.
Content creators with strong social media followings, they're going to help to bring in more like-minded people. Genuine, dedicated people who believe they can change the world. They're going to give you the conviction that fuels the mission and inspires other people. Results-driven innovators and solution finders. They're going to turn the vision into reality through their action. With a diverse, skilled, and passionate team, you can lay the foundation for a thriving Bitcoin circular economy.
The hero's journey, creating an underdog story and a vision of hope. Let's explore how Berlin's challenges were turned into opportunities through the lens of the hero's journey.
Picture this, just 5 kilometers down the road from Berlin is a bustling, vibrant city called Alegria. Every weekend, hundreds of people visit this town to escape the heat of the surrounding large cities, Usulatan and San Miguel. But Berlin was missing out on all of this tourist traffic.
Evelyn and Gerardo saw potential where others saw limitations. They approached Berlin's businesses with a simple question: would you like more tourism? And of course, the answer was yes, but how?
A picture was being painted of adventurous Bitcoiners wanting to spend their Satoshis. It was proposed that if enough businesses in Berlin started to accept Bitcoin, that they would attract this market of Bitcoin adopters.
Berlin was the underdog, and the hopium was being sold. They were going to be Bitcoin City. When crafting your own hero's journey, consider these elements.
What's potentially missing from your location? For Berlin, it was tourist traffic, despite its proximity to popular tourist destinations. Find ways to highlight benefits on how Bitcoin adoption and acceptance can help attract people. Berlin focused on attracting new customer base of specifically Bitcoin adopters. Leverage local advantages to find your unique selling points for your location. In Berlin, the cooler climate was the one thing that was going to attract people to start spending in the businesses.
Seek your counterbalance. Who is your alegria? Understanding the status quo. What might some resist? Why might some resist change? Alegria's USD liquidity from tourism meant they had less incentive to adopt Bitcoin. People would often ask, why not start onboarding in Alegria? The answer lies in the hero's journey. Alegria was already living a success story. Berlin, with its untapped potential, was ripe for transformation.
So the key here is to seek out the unique underdog advantage that your location might have. And then this will make it easier for us to inspire the hope that Bitcoin can bring to a town.
Marketing, a sly roundabout way, building trust before Bitcoin.
When first approaching businesses, Evelyn and Gerardo, when first approaching businesses, the team would introduce themselves as Berlinesses in action. a self-explanatory name that said, "We are local people who are taking action to create great change." This then opened the conversation about the good things that were being done in the town through something called community projects. This increased the business and tourists that were coming into the town. Finally, the business owners started to ask, how or why are these people coming? This opened up the opportunity to talk about the key marketing factor, which was actually Bitcoin.
Targeting your audience where it's at with tools like WhatsApp, Facebook, X. Each business was added to these social media groups so they could see the events and the progress of the town. By leading with community action and following with Bitcoin, Berlin created a narrative of progress that businesses wanted to be part of.
In branding and marketing for Bitcoin adoption, building trust and showing proof of work and the benefits that can come from that should be put well before the Bitcoin technology itself.
The 3 pillars of community: business outreach and support, community projects, and of course, a community centre and education centre.
All 3 of these pillars work together around the team to build, market, and create a circular economy, and we're going to explain each one of these in more detail.
Business outreach and support, the backbone of Bitcoin adoption.
Small to medium-sized businesses, again, they are the heart of a healthy economy. Business owners are often also the social leaders and trendsetters in a community. If you can network with them and have their buy-in to a project, it can expedite the adoption. Be professional, give value, document and communicate your proof of work.
Business support tools. So when approaching your businesses, start with using the hero's journey to onboard them to accept Bitcoin. Then provide them with, once you've got them on board, start providing them with marketing tools like an outdoor Accept Our Bitcoin sign, an inside QR payment code, Bitcoin business booklet, basics booklet, which we have got in the download link. And also, whatever you do, don't forget to add them to the BTC maps so others can find them.
Go out and create photos and videos of the business accepting Bitcoin as well. Share that in your local groups, such as your local WhatsApp groups, and also to the greater internet to find more Bitcoiners. Discuss how being involved in the local community projects can provide marketing, basically free marketing, to attract more businesses and tourists.
Successful adoption is about creating a network effect. Each business that joins makes the network more valuable for everyone involved and will hopefully create FOMO for those that delay. Community projects, the proof of work. Berlin had several successful community projects where people donated from all over the world. Keep the message clear and clean when sharing on social media. For example, selling baked goods to raise funds to paint the park.
Each project, no matter how small that project is, it contributes to the larger narrative of positive change that Bitcoin can bring to a community.
These projects serve as a bridge connecting various segments of the community. Local businesses see the benefits from the influx of engaged individuals. Residents witness the tangible improvement in their town.
Newcomers find meaningful ways to contribute and integrate and network with the local community. It's also an incentive and an engagement tool for locals and businesses to be participating and share value.
By consistently engaging and showcasing community projects, we're not just talking about change, we're actually actively doing it. The Bitcoin Community Centre, the heart of the community. Renting a space shows commitment to the community and also to the project. It is an opportunity to show proof of work through regular workshops and meetings. The centre will become your social hub, so it is important to present it well and keep and maintain a standard.
The Bitcoin Education and Community Centres can be a great place for the following ideas. It's a dedicated space It's a dedicated place for education, meetings, and networking. It's a trusted place where people can come and ask questions from a reliable source. It's a place to buy and sell Bitcoin, also to get support for your transactions and wallets. It's a notice board for community projects and local events, and they also become a great place for tourists and others to come and have meetings.
Consider ways to create a self-funding centre that receives payments in Bitcoin and onboards and educates at the same time. Language, education skills, renting a space, hot desks, tourist information, cafe, merchandise shop. The centre is more than a space. It is where the vision comes to life. It's where education, commerce, and community converge. Marketing to the world. There are people looking to experience and live in these communities. They provide certain social values, skills and resources. Being discoverable and active through proof of work will help to attract the right people.
There are already some great existing tools out on the internet and more being developed daily to help Bitcoin communities and services to be active and discovered. Creating and managing profiles and communities on platforms where your local economy is and where Bitcoiners are is going to help and sustain the growth of your new Bitcoin circular economy. As more people realize that they might need a new community, the existing proof of work that these social media platforms can provide will speak for itself.
Funding and structure for building. Starting with proof of work will help to attract funding. Berlin started with personal time and resources, then donations from individuals, then smaller groups, and finally, after more proof of work, came the bigger funding offers.
Consider ways to make the project self-sustainable. Sovereignty and the ability to say no are incredibly powerful. Some funding options could hurt the reputation and moral image of the project. Bitcoin Beach and My First Bitcoin have actually been excellent examples of maintaining this strategy. Management and legal structures are going to be a series of complex human communication and ideas. Possibly the best approach to start with is starting as a small business. And then, after that, the idea of how to evolve will start to become clear.
The commitment is real. Bitcoin circular economies become living networks of people.
The relationships and value exchanged often have a flywheel effect, leaving many people with a strong feeling of accountability, also attracting many enthusiastic people to the communities. Please consider the emotional investment that goes into these communities by a lot of people.
Try not to overpromise and underdeliver, or try not to overpromise on expectations. Better to overpromise and underpromise and overdeliver. Oh, God, did I get that wrong? Sorry. Many people start to imagine instant results and can become disheartened when it takes longer than expected.
Go out and seek positive, can-do people who can take action. Ideas are great, but who's going to action them? Someone has to take responsibility. Be a person who knows what they can handle, take ownership, delegate, and make sure communication is clear. Be kind with constructive feedback, and contribute as much as possible to a community with tangible action where you can.
Contribute as a user. You don't have to start a circular economy. Be an advocate or contribute.
Like us, go into every business and ask them, do you accept Bitcoin? Have a Lightning wallet ready to buy something or tip people. Contribute to the BTC map so other people can find these new businesses. Learn and practice how to earn, save, and spend your Bitcoin. Be part of the solution with adoption at the consumer level. Be the change you want to see in the world today. Oh, sorry, it's me.
Thank you for your attention, and we hope you found value and inspiration.
Oh, sorry.
No, keep going.
One more. Please visit the download link with the QR code above. If you haven't been to El Salvador before, please consider coming to Berlin when you come to El Salvador. And that way you may see you'll see firsthand what a bit of drive and commitment can do. Please support other Bitcoin circular economies wherever you can, and consider learning along with more resources like the Bitcoin Beach white paper, called Bubbles, the Federation of Bitcoin Circular Economies, the BTC Map communities, and also the My First Bitcoin Lightning Node Network. And remember
the most important part,
thing. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it.
James.
Wait. Oh, that's all.
Let's see if I can get back. All right.
So,
Hopefully
if
that,
there's
yeah, sorry, but hopefully that wasn't too dry. I felt like it was a lot drier than when we practiced it. Does anybody have a question? No.
No.
Okay, that's easy. Oh, yes. Is there a microphone?
So in my city, we're trying to build our own Bitcoin circular economy. We have one place that accepts it, but basically that's it. What would you say is a great step for people to begin taking, to start talking to these like merchants and stuff that have nothing to do with, and don't even know anything about Bitcoin?
Oh, did you hear that? No.
The question's quite broad.
It is a pretty open question.
Yeah.
What would you say would be the first step for a community, or I guess an organization, to start onboarding people on a city?
Keep it walkable would be the first thing. So if you've got one business, try and find other businesses that are closer. Out of curiosity, is it a restaurant or a cafe?
Oh, no, just anything.
Okay, if you have a restaurant or a cafe, then that can be a catalyst to start having meetups. A really good way, something that happened in Berlin was we onboarded a restaurant. We would go there once a week for a meetup, onboarded a second restaurant. We would start rotating. And what was great about that is it takes the business to each of these restaurants, and you create this, hey, why won't you guys come to my restaurant and have your meeting? And it's like, well, you need to accept Bitcoin. If you want the 10 people that come each week, you need to accept. So little things like this can help. We pretty much live on a Bitcoin standard. So we earn in Bitcoin, which means that we need to spend, if we want fuel for the car, we need to go use, there's 2 petrol stations, gasolinas in town. We only use the one that accepts Bitcoin. I'll go and get a haircut only at the barbers that accept Bitcoin. This one was thankfully here in Suriname. Then if we buy our food largely from the supermarkets that accept Bitcoin. And so if you can start to go visit those businesses that you need and just ask them, can you please, would you mind accepting Bitcoin? One way to pitch it, sorry, this is a lot of information, is that it's another payment rail. If they accept cash, They might also accept Visa card, they might accept a debit card, and you could say, look, I can save fees for you by just accepting Bitcoin.
And also one of the first things when people were onboarded, they were going, oh, but how do I cash out? And so we always offered the opportunity that we would cash out. And what happened was initially, some of these businesses were wanting to cash out nearly every week. And then we found out that they're extending it to 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But then they stopped phoning. And we actually found that because we had onboarded like a veggie shop and a supermarket, and these are all family-owned supermarkets, they're not big stores, that the restaurants were going and buying their supplies from these supermarkets or these food places, or they were going and eating out at other restaurants and using their Bitcoin. And so the Bitcoin is staying in the economy, and it is moving around, which is amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Great. Any other questions? Yes, sir. So we've actually been living in Berlin for just over 1 year now. It's been a great experience.
Thank you. You just mentioned that merchants can earn Bitcoin, but I was wondering, then you have somebody that already has Bitcoin, goes into a shop, into a merchant, a restaurant, and the merchant then earns Bitcoin. But can you give us some examples of how ordinary people can earn Bitcoin? Because you have to earn it first before you can spend it.
Yeah, that's often how it works. If somebody can, for the average person, if you can go into a Bitcoin community and say, hey, I have this skill, for example, if somebody was editing videos and they came to us and said, I would like to edit videos, can you pay me in Bitcoin to do that for you? That's one way to earn Bitcoin for an average person.
Also, I was going to say, is that the businesses that were starting to accept Bitcoin, they actually also started paying their staff a portion of their wage in Bitcoin too. And so that was also the way the Bitcoin was coming into the community, another source. Well, even though it was still coming in, but we were finding that businesses were paying their staff, and their staff were then able to either save their Bitcoin or spend it around the community.
Yeah, so for the average person, if they're saving, maybe they could put a small percentage of their savings into Bitcoin. But earning, to even get money, we need to give value to somebody, so they will give us a currency in exchange. So figure out what your skills are. If you can write, that's useful. If you can do some sort of computer editing, if you can sell things on the street, something that's that we see a lot in Berlin. For example, we see people that will drive to the next big town and buy, I'm not advocating for this, but they buy Dunkin' Donuts, and then they drive them back to Berlin, and then they sell them out of the back of their car. If they offered to do that and accept Bitcoin, that's one good way to earn Bitcoin. It's about hustling, I think, and a lot of Salvadorans, we see them hustling all the time. They'll go pick fruit from a shop, and then they'll go and pick fruit from a tree, and then they'll go down a neighborhood and knock on everybody's door. Limones, limones, limones.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a microphone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. My name is Romeo Haas. Thank you very much for your inspiring presentation and information. I have two short questions. The first one, what is your experience? Maybe you haven't had that experience yet. How is the behavior of the users of Bitcoin in the community when we enter a bear market, when they know, like, okay, the coming 2-3 years, the Bitcoin value is going down? I was just wondering what happens with the behavior of the users of Bitcoin in El Salvador. And the second question, what from what countries were the people El Salvador or Bitcoin City attracted most people? So what you notice, is it more Americans came there, or more New Zealanders or Chinese or other Latin
Yep.
American countries?
Okay.
Okay, great
I'll
question.
answer the second question
Okay.
first, with the easiest. In Berlin, there is only 20 foreigners. Okay, so we have a mix. We have French, we have Canadian, we have American, we have New Zealanders.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from Europe,
And
Canada.
Europe.
Yeah, and Europe. Not as many people from the United States as we expected. I would say that more Salvadorans from the United States have come back to El Salvador because of the changes that have happened. And then in regards to the
Bear market.
the volatility. So we entered Berlin in basically the bottom of the bear market, and we saw there were some people who were just like, yeah, I'm saving, it's okay, and they just keep it. They don't worry about it. Of course, there's always people who are panicking and thinking they're going to lose value, and they sell it or they spend it to get the value. I would say it was pretty standard behavior. As a community, we always offered financial education, that Bitcoin goes through a cycle. So this was something that we always talked about, and that there was the potential, if you can wait long enough, the value will go up again. We show people the graph that because of the adoption, the value's just been going up over the last 12 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps.
Oh. Is
Thank
there
you.
time for one more question? Or
Yep.
yeah.
This is a follow-up question. So let's say I'm an employer in, what's your town called?
Berlin.
Berlin.
And as I recall, the US dollar is still used in El Salvador. It's the national currency.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm a boss and I have an employee, and he's coming to me one day and says, listen, you don't have to pay me in dollars anymore. I want to receive Bitcoin, because that's one way to earn Bitcoin so that you can spend it later. So how does the boss in El Salvador deposits Bitcoin in the employer's wallet?
Great question. So El Salvador is special. So President Bukele actually put out a piece of software called Chivo Wallet. And the Chivo Wallet has an integration into Salvadorans' bank accounts. So if most business owners in El Salvador have a bank account, and they can do a bank transfer from that to their Chivo Wallet, and inside the Chivo Wallet they can do a exchange. Now, if it was a cash, let's just say it was a person who only had cash, then if they had a request like that, for example, in Berlin, that request isn't so difficult. Just one more point. Chivo also have a number of ATMs all over the country. I think there's like close to 200 ATMs around the country, which can either buy or sell Bitcoin or cash. Also, in Berlin, for example, a boss or a business owner could come to the community center, and somebody could do a cash trade with them, where they would take the money, the cash, and they would give them Bitcoin, and then they could pay their staff member. In a town where Bitcoin wasn't so popular, that business owner would either need to use the Chivo ATM, where they could do a cash deposit, or they would need a bank account where they can do a cash deposit in exchange. Here in Suriname, I would recommend talking to the Bitcoin Community Center if you wanted to do that. That would be the first place I'd start, especially for cash trades, to build reliable swaps. We're aware, and we've already done some cash trades with people here in the community, which was safe and convenient. But that would be the main thing I'd be concerned about, was making sure you are safe with any trades. Do it with reliable people. Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
One more. James, one more. James.
Thank you.
James.
Oh, sorry.
One more.
Oh, so there was still a question.
Sorry, I
Yes,
missed it.
thank you very much for your story. Very interesting. One last question, maybe. I'm interested in, like in Berlin, the Bitcoin businesses. How do they price their products?
Great question.
Great question.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything is still priced in the US dollar. The only place where you will see Bitcoin priced in sats or satoshis is actually at the Bitcoin farmers market.
And everybody walks with a calculator, or in the app.
The Blink app.
The Blink app,
current
yeah.
exchange rate, Bitcoin to US dollar.
It's done inside the in Berlin, the businesses say this is $1 and the application Blink takes care of it. We don't
Yeah.
worry about it. When we go to the farmers market, we will look at the price in the morning and go $1 is 1,500 satoshis, and we will price 1 bar of soap at 1,500 satoshis for the day. If
Yep.
the price goes up, if the price goes down,
It
we
is
just
what
live
is.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. It's okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Nicki and James.